This is Ed Salzberg, Managing Director of the Security and Sustainability Forum. On August 4th, from 1:15 to 2:45 p.m., we're hosting the second in a series of complimentary webinars addressing how to adapt to the variety of security threats from a changing climate. I'll introduce the webinar lineup at the end of this 5-minute video, but today's purpose is to introduce Session 2, Adaptations to Protect Water and Food in a Changing Climate. We chose this topic because maintaining secure food and water supply in a changing climate is both an economic issue and a source of conflict. In this free 90-minute webinar, global experts discuss some of the most important implications for developed and emerging economies. Tracy Meehan is moderating the session. Tracy is a principal with the Cadmus Group and formerly held positions as the Assistant Administrator for EPA's Office of Water, Director of the Michigan Office of the Great Lakes, and Director of the Missouri Department of Natural Resources. The SSF directors asked Tracy to put together this webinar because he's an expert in water policy and approaches to address the shortfall in drinking water and wastewater infrastructure investments, and he's current with the issues of climate and resources. We are fortunate that Peter Glick agreed to join the panel. Peter co-founded and is the president of the Pacific Institute for Studies in Development, Environment, and Security in Oakland, California. It's one of the world's leading independent nonprofits conducting research and advocacy on degradation, poverty, and political conflict. Peter will address conflict, water insecurity, and the relationship of and conflict between water and food in developing adaptations to a changing climate. Also on the panel is Jay Knott, APP's VP for Global Business. He was the former AID Mission Director in Jordan. He's currently overseeing agricultural and food supply chain projects, providing support to USAID, the Industrial Development Bank, and several other international organizations. Included is work on the economic impact of climate change on vulnerable farming communities in South America to help promote political and social stability. Jay will focus on the political will to address the difficult natural resource decisions that impact water and food availability and degradation, using analogies from underdeveloped and developing countries. Ed Panero is an Executive Vice President and the Chief Sustainability Officer of Veolia North America. Veolia is the world's leading operator in water services. Ed was the Federal Environmental Director at CEQ and responsible for advancing the U.S. government's environmental stewardship initiatives. Ed will discuss the implications of adaptation to climate change on water availability. In addition, the panel will discuss several questions about adaptation and answer questions from the webinar audience. Join the discussion with Tracy and this panel of experts on August 4th from 1:15 to 2:45 p.m. SSF's Adaptation and National Security Complementary Webinar Series will continue through the summer and fall of 2011. Following Tracy's Water and Food Adaptation webinar, we have planned 3 more to address the specific adaptations to protect public health, infrastructure, and to maintain economic growth. Check the SSF website for the schedules, and you can also sign up for email alerts on these and other SSF-produced events, and register for our free membership being rolled out next month. This is Ed Salzberg, the Managing Director of the Security and Sustainability Forum, and speaking for the organization, I invite you to participate in this educational series.